Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Motive to be Productive. I'm Daria, your host, and today I'm very happy to be hosting Ethan Anderson, a sophomore point guard at University of Southern California. Ethan, welcome. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. So, Ethan, let's start with an intro question, but make it more interactive in the sense that what can you please share with our audience? What made you interested in playing basketball?
Well, from a young age, basketball has always been put in front of me, and in terms of the NBA or my dad, my big brother, or even my other extended family. And the sport is really popular in my area, whether it be basketball or football. And I really fell in love with basketball because of just the progression of the game and how people like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, people like Michael Jordan, like the work ethic that you have to be great at the sport. And I really fell in love with there not being any end goal in terms of there's no height that you can reach that's enough. Just keep working, you keep working, and you just try to get better than you were the last day. But there is no end destination where you achieve, where you stop working. So basketball has taught me so much in life just because of the fact of it just being a sport that you continue to work in and you never get satisfied.
And so when did you start playing basketball, and when were you interested or came to this conclusion that you want to pursue this professionally?
Well, I started playing at the age of 4 at my local YMCA, and well, I've always loved the sport, but when I got to about, I want to say maybe my ninth grade year in high school is when I really started getting a lot of recognition. Eighth grade too, and I realized that this sport is what I was put on this earth to do. In terms of not just playing it, having fun my way, but just in terms of me being able to inspire other people through basketball. People that have never met me or seen me in real life, say if they watch me play on TV or whatever it may be, if I'm able to inspire them to be great at whatever they're pursuing, whatever their dream is, if I inspire somebody to chase their dream based off of my story, when I had started getting those feelings and started getting people coming up to me saying, "Oh, Ethan, I look up to you," that type of stuff really sparked me, really made me feel like this is what I'm here to do, to inspire people to this game of basketball. So at this point in my life, I'm really just trying to take it professionally and be able to inspire and motivate as many people as I can and to draw people closer to God or whatever it may be. But this, but to do this sport, that's the most rewarding feeling to me. Being able to inspire somebody else and have somebody else tell me that they look up to me or they support me or they've been watching me, and I've enabled them to break down another obstacle or barrier in their life just through me playing a game of basketball.
And so as a point guard, who are your favorite point guards first, and then following up to that, was this position your favorite position, or so how did you decide to become a point guard?
But most of my life I've been playing shooting guard and a little bit of point guard here and there, but mostly shooting guard. But my favorite point guards right now, well, growing up was Chris Paul. He's just tremendous player, his IQ, how he runs the team. And coming into our later times, I really enjoy watching Damian Lillard, just the way he draws so much attention on the court and how he's able to lift his team up by the way he can score, he can pass, he can do things on all cylinders. And I really enjoy watching Magic Johnson in terms of not me being, I don't play like him, but just in terms of how he affected the game. And I think the point guard is one of the most important positions on the court. And I think everything runs through the point guard in terms of, like I said, Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, Damian Lillard, these players, have I watched them, how they're able to change games by themselves. Not meaning that they have to score all the points, but in terms of them just orchestrating so much and so much credit that point guard doesn't get if he doesn't score the 30 points, if he doesn't have the 15 assists, but the points that things that don't show up on the stat sheet that are really important as a point guard really made me fall in love with the position.
So um, first thing is that, so did this mentality, inspired you to provide 131 assists for your freshman year, right?
Well,
Is that
absolutely.
it?
Coming to USC, like I said, I wasn't really point guard wasn't my main position, but coming to USC, that's what we needed at the time. We needed a point guard, and I just kind of grew into the role. I learned a ton from my coaches, Jason Hart, Coach Capco, and our coach Andy Enfield. I learned a ton. He put me around some really good players, and Big O, Nick, Jonah, Isaiah, Daniel, all these other great players, and I was just able to. They made my job a lot easier in terms of just making the right play, and they would just finish it. So this would just be there.
Since you mentioned Chris Paul and Damian Lillard, um, because these two are the active players in the current NBA, did you watch the games in the bubble, and did you watch the OKC Houston series?
Absolutely, I've been watching the games in the bubble, and Damian Lillard, like I said, I talked about it inspiring. He's really inspired me in my game to extend my range and become an even better scorer, because just seeing how he just changes the game and how he's inspiring people and how he's changing people's lives just through playing the game that he loves in basketball. And even in terms of Chris Paul, whatever team he's on, he seems to be successful simply because he just continues to lead the team and continues to be that point guard that is vocal, but also his actions show it.
No one predicted Oklahoma to be this good and to come this far, right? Did you think that they would come this far?
I didn't think they would come this far either, just because they weren't talked about. They don't have like a bunch of firepower on paper. But when you really look into their team, and you see Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous, you have some young guys, and you have a veteran in Chris Paul. When you put that kind of IQ together with young and old, I think you can get a lot done depending on your work ethic and if you just believe.
Amazing. I mean, the series was very good, great. So moving forward, in the last few months, everyone had to be dealing with this coronavirus pandemic, and especially it impacted us students a lot. So, from an athlete's perspective, how did you deal with this? I assume that the practice were, put up. There was a put on hold for the practice, and how did you and your teammates, react to this? When there were no games or no practice.
Well, when I first found about it, we were in Las Vegas about to play against Arizona in the Pac-12 tournament. But the game got canceled, and I just thought it was going to be a short-term thing while they figured things out. As it came to months and months going by, I just tried to do my best to stay in shape and just work out wherever I could. And then I got a few gyms to open up with my trainers, so I started being able to get back in there. But really, this COVID time really gave me a chance to really evaluate my game, watch a lot of film on other players, see where my shots are going to come this year, see where I can be better on defense, and just really evaluate my whole game. I'll be able to change my body in terms of dieting and getting stronger, faster, jumping higher. So it was really, at the beginning, I thought of it as a bad time, but this time it's really, I think, what you make it. So I'll be trying to make it the best time and do what I can do and improve what I can improve while I have this time off, so that when the season comes and my team needs me, I'll be there.
Now as a professional, um, because we're still, in a sense, in quarantine. As a professional, can you give one or two tips to other students, like non-athlete students, especially, who felt a little bit, let's say, down because of all this situation and schools being closed? What should they do to remain motivated?
Like I said, I think in terms of advice, I would give as a non-athlete or an athlete at all, just use this time to really look into your life, look at all the blessings and good things that you've been blessed with, and the bad things and your flaws. I say you take a step back and look into those things and see what you can improve. And every summer of my life, I try to improve an aspect of my game, an aspect of my character, try to improve it. And I think this time can be exactly what you make it. You can think of it as a bad time. You don't get to go out with friends or whatever it may be. But this time can definitely turn into a positive by us just continuing to try to improve ourselves. And I just think with this time being what it is, you're going to look back at it and you don't want to have any regrets and things that you didn't do, things that you were being lazy or procrastinating about. So use this time to look at your life and see what other streams of income you can create or whatever it may be as a student, see what things you can work on a new studying habit, whatever it may be as an athlete, see what you can improve to your game. So I think this time definitely it was thought of as a negative, but in our mind we can make it whatever you want it to be.
Well, you mentioned creating a different streams of income for example, and I think that's a great way for especially students to get little bit more creative and try different things that they've never done maybe. So that was a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Also, so going back to basketball, you talked about improving your game. Well, as we go further, all basketball players, or all athletes, they work hard to improve their game. So you played for Fairfax High School, and then now you're playing for the USC. Can you share with our audience what's the difference between playing for a high school team and then playing for college?
But definitely it's a huge difference because in high school at Fairfax, there is the similarities, I would say. There's a food chain you have to work up. So as a freshman, when I got to Fairfax, I played a lot of minutes, but I had to earn my respect. Same thing you do when you come to college. So playing in high school, the game is a lot slower. There is, in terms of like the way they call the game, the audience is a lot different. Like at Fairfax, we were one of the big time programs in LA. So we had a lot of people at the games or whatever, but college is a whole different scenery. There's tens of thousands of people at the college games. In high school, we had a packed high school gym is nearly tens of thousands. So the crowd is a lot different. The pace of the game is a lot different. Just in terms of how serious the game is taken, in terms of very detailed. So in high school, we watched film for about 10 minutes or so, just on the team, just to get like a gist of what they like to do. But in college, you really sit down for hours and analyze your opponent, analyze what they like to do, what they don't like to do, what plays they run, what their flaws are, what they're good at. And the game is really a lot more detailed in terms of every possession matters in college basketball. And every pass you make, every turnover, every free throw, every easy open shot you get. There's not a lot of open shots in college, and you rarely find somebody being able to take just a wide open shot in college because of just how much detail there is and how much people already know what you're going to do and your plays and all that. But in high school, it's a lot more free. That's why people score a lot more points in high school than they do in college or the NBA. Like, you don't see a lot of college players scoring as much as NBA players just because of the defensive 3-second rule and a lot more detail on defense. So in high school, I was able to play a lot more free, shoot every shots I wanted to, just because I was at the top of the food chain and I worked my way up from a freshman to being a respected player nationally in high school. But when you get to college, it's kind of like your identity almost changes when you first step in the door. Now you're just a part of that college team, and you have to do whatever coach thinks you need to do to win. So, like I said, in high school at Fairfax, I was a shooting guard. I think my senior year, I was a point guard / shooting guard, and I averaged a little over 20 points, and I was known as a scorer. I got to college, and that's not what they needed from me. They had people like Jordan Matthews, Danny, Tony, Big O, people that led us in scoring every game. So that's not what they needed from me. They needed somebody to run the team and be the assist guy, people to get these people the ball, somebody to play defense. High school, I wasn't known as a big-time defender or somebody that went out there that's got a lot of assists. But I had to change my game. So going from high school to college, your identity is going to have to change depending on what program you go to, depending on what that team needs. So coming into this next year, now our team needs more scoring from me. So now I'm getting back. I'm trying to get back to my high school mindset in terms of, oh, I'm a scorer now. So now a lot of adjusting that you have to do to your game when you're at the college and even at the pro level. Pros that have mentored me and I've talked to, they told me, depending on where you go, what team, you're gonna have to do something different. Not every team's gonna allow you to do what you think is what you do. Coming out of high school, I thought I was a scorer. That's what I'm going to be doing. But when I stepped into USC, that's not what we needed. So I was fine with being whatever role we needed to win. And we were able to win a lot of games with me being a point guard, true point guard, not a pass first point guard, really. So it's a huge difference playing from college to high school, even the demand in your schedule. You're no longer living at the comfort of your own home. You're going to your apartment with your teammates. You're not seeing your mom every day. You're not seeing your parents. And a lot of responsibilities on you now. So if you're late to practice, there's nobody waking you up saying get to practice or get to class, whatever it may be. So it's adulthood when you step into college, preparing you for that. So high school's a lot different. You're a lot more comfortable. In college, you have to learn how to play under any circumstances in terms of snow, or if it's I'm all the way out in Colorado, like I've never been there before. I got to quickly adjust, or I'm sleeping in a hotel, whatever it may be. So you don't get the comfort of your own home. But to say the least, college is a very fun experience that I've had so far. There's a lot of challenges that come in your way, a lot more than high school. But if you're able to withstand those trials and tribulations, you can excel yourself to another level.
So it's very good that you mentioned that the need to adjust your mindset and to adapt to the new situation, which I think it applies to every profession. Thank you for sharing that. So, what is your next goal? What's after college? Hopefully, the NBA, right?
Well, yeah, my next goal is just to be able to make money doing what I love. And I love to play basketball. So, of course, every college player's dream is to be in the NBA one day, and I certainly hope I can achieve that. But I wouldn't consider myself a failure if I'm making money, good money, playing this game. So whether it be overseas, wherever my route may be, I want to end up in the NBA. But my number one goal is to play this game, earn a living off of it, and be able to inspire the people and to mentor younger people to get to this level or get to the NBA dreams they have. And after I'm done playing, another goal of mine is to be a college basketball coach. Whether that be wherever it may be at, I want to be able to change people's lives because I've watched college coaches change my life in terms of giving me the opportunity to go to college for free, get education. USC has changed the course of my life. Headed from Fairfax and going to USC, the education, degree I'm going to be able to get, have a chance to get, and just the big stage that they put me on to play, the attention they've drawn to me. I feel like college coaches play a huge role in the young lives of African American men or any type of male, and I just think they have a huge impact on the society and this whole world. So that's something that I really want to do when I'm done playing.
Hopefully you come back to USC at that time. You know, Trojans, they must come back home. Hopefully, and you know, I wish you the best. And before we conclude this interview, can you share some few tips to individuals who want to become professional basketball players?
Well, absolutely. I love giving this type of advice. And I want to tell people that, like when I was younger, nobody ever told me, oh, yeah, I think you're going to be a high major Division I point guard basketball player. Not a lot of people told me that outside of my family. Not a lot of people told me, all the critics and the scouts, they would say I'm too small, or I'm too slow, not athletic enough. But I'm here to tell you that it's not about where you start. So don't look at the people that are blowing up or have all the Instagram followers when you're at a young age. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. The following you have in middle school, none of it matters. Because what really matters is when you're in the 11th or 12th grade in high school, and depending on where you're at there, if your grades are right there, if you're getting the recognition, if you're playing your best basketball there, that's what's going to excel you to college. So I'm here to just tell you every single day, try to get better. Get like 1% or 0.5% better. Because if you sacrifice the parties or if you're sacrificing social time and you're getting better and trying to excel your game, that's going to all make a difference at the end. When I was younger, I used to put in work every day, ride my bike to workouts, while at work. And sometimes I would go play and I have a bad game and be like, it's not working. Like my work is not working. But then the next week I keep working and then I happen to score 30 points the next game. So it's not gonna none of this is gonna happen overnight. Even me right now, I'm trying to transform myself into an elite scorer on the college basketball level. And I've been working on it for months, 8, 9 months now. And there's still flaws, still things I have to work on. And although I've had some success in basketball, some success a little bit in high school and in college, I've had some success, but it's an ever-ending journey, never-ending journey. So continue to work, continue to try to get better every single day. Try to do something that's going to build you up, something that's going to get you better, even if they may be just icing your knees or resting that day or anything like that, or just doing form shots, whatever it may be. Try to get better and try each and every day. You can learn from so many other people just by just watching them. Don't think that that's taking somebody's game and trying to be like somebody. No, it's not at all. A lot of everything, every move I use, everything I've learned has been from other people. I didn't just wake up thinking to do the move or thinking to shoot the way I do. I've learned from my trainers. I've been blessed to have professional athletes in my life, people that made a lot of money. They teach me, they tell me things, that advice. I watch them play. I play against them, and I steal stuff that they do to me. So basketball is really a game that you take pieces from everybody else's game, take pieces from people that are teaching you different things. And a lot of it, too, is you figuring out on yourself, on your own, what works and what doesn't. So I'll go take pieces from this person's game and this person's game, and I'll try it. And I'll learn, okay, this is not a part of my game, but this one is. So you can just take a bunch of pieces from different people's game. Another thing I'm here to tell you is that not everybody's going to be ranked top 10 in their state or top 100 in their country. When I came into USC, I was not top 100 in the country at all. I was like number 382 or something like that. But turns out, out of those 382 people, I was one of the few that had success their first year in college. I had one of the most successful seasons in that. And I didn't pay attention to that ranking. I just, like I said, I got better every single day. I didn't pay attention to what other people's success was. And if you do that, you're bound to make something good happen if you continue to work and just be diligent, stay humble in terms of whatever it may be of the success you're having in any avenue in life, not just in basketball. But if you want to be a Division I college athlete, it starts now. It starts, what are you going to do today to get better? What are you going to do tomorrow to get better? And not just taking days off or thinking it's going to happen magically overnight. And I'm here to tell you there's going to be bad games. You're going to have bad games. You're going to fail. I failed so much in my young career. I failed in high school, middle school, college. I've had bad games. I failed. But it's not about that failure. It's about, okay, what did you learn? What are you going to apply the next game? What are you going to do the next game? So this is an never-ending journey. And continue to be yourself on the court and never fear anybody on the court. Never fear another man, because everybody bleeds the same way. No matter who they are, who's the big names they have, doesn't matter. You go out there and you compete, and you working on your game every day. Trust your training. Trust the work you put in. And confidence is a big part of this game. I know a lot of people that are super good, but they don't have the confidence when it comes to the game, so nobody has ever known it. So have confidence in yourself and what you can do, and put the work in, and it'll all work out for you.
Confidence, being humble, all of these are great, great advice. And focus on your goal no matter what critics might say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Ethan Anderson, on behalf of my co-host and myself and our dear audience, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your day and being our guest. Thank you very much. We wish you the best. Good luck, and hopefully you make the top, and good luck. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.